Gene Deal isn't just any ordinary person. He was Diddy's trusted right-hand man and loyal bodyguard for years. Now, he's preparing to drop explosive revelations that could completely reshape what we know about Biggie's death. You might be thinking, haven't we heard it all before? But trust me, what Gene is about to reveal will leave you speechless. This is game-changing, earth-shattering information that could rewrite hip-hop history.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Cause people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the sheep? I'm gonna put him out the pasture. Catch him if you can. If you got that wolf in you, catch him if you can.
Gene Deal was there. He witnessed everything firsthand. Now, after all these years, he's finally breaking his silence. Word on the street is that his story could hold the key to unraveling the mystery that's kept us guessing for decades. Get ready, because we're about to dive into some serious drama that will make you question everything you thought you knew about Diddy and Biggie.
Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album when you know not his Nimitz, but your Nimitz was just murdered by niggas that you was running with? Why would you do that? Oh, they just wanted to do business. Business my ass, man. No homo. Because you know how some of these niggas out here be thinking, right? They hear that. Keep it real, man. Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's house. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded ass nigga like Lil C. Big love Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga to go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother. That's my take on it, man. I don't know if you like it or not.
Before we dive into all the juicy drama Gene's about to reveal, let's rewind to where it all started. Remember Bad Boy Records? That label was the ultimate cool kids table in the hip-hop world. Everyone wanted in. Picture this. It's the early 90s. And Diddy is out here hustling like his life depends on it. With a vision to create a label that would change the game, he sure delivered. Bad Boy Records wasn't just a label, it was a whole vibe. Diddy had the magic touch. Everything he touched seemed to turn to gold.
So, all you guys go to the Vibe Party.
It was 23 of us.
23 people go to the Vibe Party. And then at one point, the fire department starts to shut it down.
Now it's only 12 of us. Because them motherfuckers that left, they must have felt something. You know, what's his name? Chuck Bone. That was Puff friend. Yeah, he that was with us, Chuck Bone. They must have felt something and they left and went to Steve Stout's house in the hills. Because Steve Stout was giving a party that day too.
Okay, so half the entourage leaves. Half is still there. You go and grab all the SUVs and have them pull out in front, so when Big and Puff and all them come out, they can just jump in their cars.
And we can leave.
Okay. So tell me about the scene outside as you're waiting for everyone to get in their cars and start to take off.
So first we lined up parallel to the door in which they have to come out, right? You follow me?
Yep.
All right, we lined up parallel to where the doors they have to come out. So if they come out right here, the car's right there. They're right there. So then Big is taking his time because you know his fibula bones and his thighs are broken or whatever like that. You know, they fractured or whatever. So it's taking them a long time to come out. So they get out, Big gets in the car, everybody get loaded up. I said, come on, let's go. We ready to go. Puff is running back and forth like, yo, he'll see a girl, he'll go grab a girl. He said, yo, Gene, remember her, she coming to the party tomorrow. I'm like, remember her? What the fuck is you talking about, bro? I've never seen him act like this.
Let's be real. Bad Boy Records wouldn't have been what it was without the legendary Biggie Smalls. The man was a lyrical genius. When Ready to Die dropped in '94, it felt like the world hit pause just to listen. His flow, storytelling, and swagger were on another level. Diddy and Biggie, they were the perfect duo, like peanut butter and jelly or salt and pepper. Their chemistry was unmatched. Diddy had the vision to package Biggie's raw talent and turn it into something the world could vibe with. And Biggie, he was the heart and soul of Bad Boy Records, no doubt.
Ever, because he don't act like that. Because even in New York City, once Puff get in the car, he'll leave his mama. We gone, we out. So Puff is like looking, and if you see the cameras, you see him running back and forth, looking and everything like that. So I said, Big man, what we standing around here for? He said, that's your man. That's your man. And I said, yeah, all right. So then I said, Puff, what's going on? He said, yo, Paul and them ain't got their car yet. I said, this guy's a cop out here and they can't get his car out the garage thing. I got all these cars. I got these cars out of. What are you talking about? You understand? So now we pull out the driveway. When we pull out onto the driveway, now this is the driveway. We pull onto the driveway, and I don't know the street. Is it Wishaw or Fairfax? Which street is right there on the side of that? Is it
Not sure.
Wishaw or Fairfax? Well, whatever street is right there, when you come out the driveway, you got to make a right turn. So we parked up in the driveway. So it's Puff, it's Big's car, and I still think we're waiting for Paul and them car. So now they get, people are coming by. Now, y'all seen a lot of videos, and in those videos, it seemed like it was a lot of people right there, you know, when Big got shot and everything like that. That's on the other side of
The streets couldn't stop talking about Diddy and Biggie. Everyone was saying they were untouchable, destined to dominate the rap game forever. And for a while, it really looked like they would. Bad Boy Records was on fire, dropping hit after hit. It felt like every other song on the radio had that signature Bad Boy sound. Biggie was out here spitting verses that left people in awe, while Diddy was serving up flashy music videos and unforgettable hooks. Together, they were a match made in hip-hop heaven. They were living large, making power moves, and setting trends like nobody else. It was their world, and everyone else was just vibing in it.
Where all those people was walking back and forth right there. Because on our side of the street, it was nobody over there. You understand? So this guy in this blue and white shirt comes walking down. So he walks down and he just goes through the garage, you know what I'm saying, while the cars is lined up. I have my gun under my shirt. You know, with my hand, you know, sideways to the trigger like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't put it on the trigger or nothing like this. I got my gun on so like this. So the guy walks through and now I see Paul. I say, yo, Paul, what's up? He said, yeah, and the guy just kept on walking. I said, Paul, you see the guy in the blue and white shirt? He said, yeah, I saw him. He said, yo, he puff all right? I said, yo, puff straight. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eye on him. So the guy had walked away. You know what I'm saying? So then next thing you know, less than 5 minutes from that, hear this guy come down. He dressed in a blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie. You understand? He comes and he just, it's a pillow right here. Puff is in the driveway. If you walking down the street, you can't see me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm standing right by the pillow, right? So you can't see me. So when he got to the...
Here's the thing about success. It's a double-edged sword. All that fame, money, and power, it can change people, and not always for the better. The higher you climb, the more people want to see you fall. And Bad Boy Records? They were sitting right at the top. On the surface, everything looked perfect. Diddy and Biggie were inseparable, always hyping each other up like brothers, or so it seemed. But you know how it goes. What you see isn't always what's real. Behind the scenes, things aren't always as smooth as they appear.
Point, because he was walking closer to the curve than he was in the middle of the sidewalk. He was walking close to the curve, close to the cars. I see him, and Puff is about, I would say 10 to 15 yards from him, right? And I'm about 5 yards from him. So the guy, when I come from over the pillow, he stops immediately. And he just looked at me and I looked at him. He didn't say nothing. So I lowered my arm and he could see my gun. He looked me in my eye and turns right back and walks down the street. So when he got far enough from down the street, maybe 4 or 5 car lengths and everything like that, I said, yo, y'all ready? He said, yeah, we ready. So we pulls out the driveway and now we lined up side the street. There's cars parked there from the opening of the museum all the way down to the corner. So we park right there coming out the garage and I see Paul and them. Big's man is across the street. He has a white Land Cruiser. He's from Philly. I think Charlie Baltimore may have been in the car with them. I'm not for sure. So when we pull out the driveway, Paul comes up to me. I say, yo, Paul, you good? You good? Y'all ready to go? You ready to go? I say, all right, because Puff had already made the decision that we're going to Steve Stout's house now.
Behind those platinum plaques and million-dollar smiles, another story was brewing, one that makes you question if anyone in this industry can truly trust anyone else. While Diddy and Biggie appeared to be the ultimate dynamic duo, there were whispers in the shadows, whispers of tension, jealousy, and a reality far from the flawless image they projected. And that's where Gene Deal comes in. He wasn't just a bystander, he was right there in the thick of it, witnessing the rise of the bad boy empire. But he also saw the cracks begin to form, the kind of cracks that can bring even the mightiest empire crashing down.
Leaving, no, we were going to Steve Stout's house. I had got a call from Chaz. I had called Chaz and I let Chaz know. I said, yo, Chaz, we about to go to Steve Stout's now. I said, no, I'm coming down there where y'all don't go to Steve Stout's house. Y'all don't go to Steve Stout's house. And he didn't say anything on the phone. You know, he said, I'm on my way down there. You know what I'm saying? So he had left Steve Stout's in the house. So we parked on the side of the Peterson Museum. So when I said to Paul said we was ready to go, I say, all right, follow us. I tried to ride on the side of the car. Puff said, yo, Gene, what you doing? I said, I'm riding on the side of the car. I'm having my gun out. I'm on the side of the car. At the time, I'm 265, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the street 30, you know what I mean? So I was a little slimmer back then. So he says to me, Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, how the fuck you gonna try to tell me how to do my job? He said, Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car. As I go to get in the car, this motherfucker reached down and let his seat all the way back. So now I gotta put my legs sideways. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is you doing?
So yeah, Bad Boy Records rose to the top like cream. But trust me, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. And Gene? He's about to pull back the curtain on all of it. Now, you might be thinking, weren't Diddy and Biggie like two peas in a pod? That's exactly what they wanted us to believe. But behind the Bentleys and the bling, there was a storm of drama brewing, way more than anyone could have imagined.
And so then Kenny said, you ready? He said, you're ready. I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. Kenny said, for what? I said, motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm gonna drive. Run the next 3 lights. Kenny just took off. When he took off, we got past the light because it was a flashing red light. We got past the light and we got across the street. Tone, who was behind me, said, yo, somebody in the car pointing a gun at Big and them. I goes to open the door. Fucking, next thing you know, you hear it say, pow! Pap, 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 pap. Yeah. 5 or 6 cars was like, pap, 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 right? Fucking Kenny guns the car going forward. I said, Kenny, what the fuck is you doing? He said they shooting at Big. He said, we don't know who they shooting at. He then goes up the block, stops, and do this 3-point something like that U-turn, comes back, and as
Let's get into what was really happening behind those studio doors. The streets were buzzing that things weren't as smooth as they seemed between Diddy and Biggie. You know how it goes. When the money starts rolling in, suddenly everyone wants their cut. And trust? That flies right out the window. Word was, Biggie was starting to feel some type of way about his contract. See, Diddy had a reputation for being, let's say, a little too hands-on with his artist's business. And some folks were whispering that Biggie wasn't seeing as much of that bad boy money as he thought he deserved.
coming back, we see the guy turning the corner from the corner. He was parked on the corner because there's no way he could have got on the side unless his car was already parked there. You understand what I'm saying? So now, we stops right in the middle, right in front of Big's car. We stops. Puff jumps out the front seat and runs around there to Big's car. All that shit running around the block. I ran down the block and shit like that. That's bullshit. When we got in front of the car, he jumps out the car, ran over to Big's side of the car. So now I'm behind Puff and I'm looking down the block and everything like that. Those girls who was right there on the corner talking to Puff and them, they had, talking to Big and Lil C's and them. I don't see them. The street is clear. Tone said, Gene, come on, let's go. Me and Tone hops back in the car. And we try to take after the guy. Tone is trying to floor it, but it had one of those government chips in there, the car. So every time we get close to 100, it go, vroom, go all the way back down. Vroom. So we can see the guy at the top of the hill. Oh, it was a top. We see the guy up at the top where he had to make, when he made a right. When he made that right turn, when we got up the top of the hill, we ain't see shit. So I said, Tone, let's go back, man.
And can you blame him? Biggie was the one spitting rhymes that had everyone from Brooklyn to Cali bumping, but Diddy? He was the one living large, popping bottles in every video, throwing cash around like confetti, and living that superstar lifestyle. Meanwhile, Biggie was still in the hood, dealing with the same struggles he'd always known. Something wasn't adding up, and Biggie was starting to notice. But it wasn't just about the money. Diddy had this way of inserting himself into every aspect of his artists' lives. Their music, their image, even their personal relationships. He wanted to control it all. For someone like Biggie, who came from the streets and valued his independence, that had to be a hard pill to swallow.
To make sure everybody all right, because I'm the only one got a gun. I got 2 of mine and I gave Paul 1 of mine. So we get back and as soon as I get out the car, I go down to the Peterson Museum and I just, that little corner where I said that I was at before the Muslim came out, right there, I just chilled right there like it was nothing while they was all at the top. You know what I'm saying? Now they got ambulance, fire department, and the police department on the other side of the museum. Wasn't thinking. Should have ran over there and got the ambulance guys to get it. Wasn't thinking, man, at all. So that's when I see DJ Quick come